I came across a few interesting web pages. This is an essay called I Pencil, written by Leonard Reed. There is another article I came across which explores rockets in Mysore and Britain from 1750 to 1850. And then there is another article which talks about imaginary numbers and perhaps also explains how the imaginary numbers go through a cycle. Now these are interesting articles. I perhaps don't want to save these articles because I don't really have an idea about how I want to use this in my classroom. But I find them interesting, so I want to keep them bookmarked so that I can return to it very easily. Now, in this video, let's learn how to bookmark web pages. This is an article related to economics. This is an article related more to my science, and this is an article related to most of what I try and teach in maths. Now, while bookmarking, I can organize my bookmarks accordingly. So let's first look at how to bookmark. So to bookmark a page, I can use the star icon here, or I could also use the Control and the D key on my keyboard. I could use Control D, or I could click on star. So let me click on the star here, and it asks me what should I name it as, and I will leave the name as it is, and I will also choose a bookmark folder. Where do I want to bookmark it? So let me just leave it at the default other bookmarks and click on done. So I'm done bookmarking. How do I know? Because this star has turned into orange, and it used to be white. It has turned into orange, and that means I'm done bookmarking. If I click on it again, it will allow me to edit this bookmark for this page. For example, if I click again, it will allow me to change the name or perhaps the location of where I have saved it. I will do none of those, and I will leave it as it is. I will also bookmark this page white. It becomes orange once I'm done. I leave it in other bookmarks, but here it's not a good representation of what this article is about, so I will remove that and I will type in an appropriate name. So I'm done. I click on done, and I will do the same thing here. So I'm done bookmarking the pages. Now let's say I have not used this computer, or I have not needed those pages for a few weeks or perhaps a few months. Now after a few months, I'm sitting in front of my computer, but I remember that there was an interesting article, and I now want that article because I want to use it in my classroom. How can I go about looking for that article? One of the ways to do that is to go to Google and start searching for that article, and that's not easy because I know I need to go through a lot of articles to really find my article. And for my luck, I have already bookmarked these articles, so that's a good thing for me. Since I've bookmarked it, let me go and look at what bookmarks I have stored on this computer. How do I access these bookmarks? I can click on these three dots here, and under the bookmarks option, I can see bookmark manager. So let me click on that, and there is a bookmarks bar and other bookmarks. So I know I remember saving it under other bookmarks, so I click on it, and all the three articles I bookmarked are here. I can be a little more organized about this, which is why I want to create a few folders under these other bookmarks. For myself, since I teach these three things: economics, math, and also science. If I create folders like this, it will be easier for me to keep my bookmarks organized. So I can drag and drop this bookmark in economics, this one into science, and this one into maths. So I'm looking for an economics article, so I click on economics and I find my bookmark. Of course, right now I just have one, but somebody who has a habit of bookmarking a lot of web pages will have tens and hundreds of bookmarks in this list. And it's a good habit because it saves us a lot of time from searching and researching the internet whenever we need these web pages. Now let's also quickly look at how we can delete bookmarks, which is very simple. Let's say I want to delete this Rockets in Mysore. I right click on it and I click on delete, and that will remove the bookmark. I can also delete the entire folder. Right click and then click on delete, and that will delete the entire folder. I cannot delete other bookmarks because that's a default folder, and neither can I delete the bookmarks bar, and these two are very basic, but I can create more folders under these if I need to. So we have seen how to add bookmarks, we have also seen how to manage bookmarks, we have also seen how to delete bookmarks, and I can have subfolders under these folders if I want to be further more organized. So let me show you quickly how I got here. I got here by clicking on these three dots. Under bookmarks, I clicked on bookmarks manager, and that's how I got here. Now sometimes I need some shortcuts to appear here, and those shortcuts will appear on something called as the bookmarks bar. Right now I have disabled it, so let me show you how that looks. If I go to bookmarks, show bookmarks bar, it is showing me a bar here. Now if I am accessing something on a daily basis, it makes sense for me to bookmark that page so that I don't have to type in the entire web page here. For example, let's say I go to English version of Wikipedia every day, and this is how the page looks. Now if I don't want to type in all this, if I want to bookmark it, I can bookmark it so that I'll have a shortcut. So that's a little different from adding it to other bookmarks. So let's look at how we can do that. I want to add a shortcut on this bookmarks bar. I click on this star, but this time instead of this folder called math or economics or other bookmarks, I will choose the bookmarks bar. I choose that and I remove most of it and just leave the word wiki there and click on done. As soon as I do that, we notice that a shortcut has been created here. So let's assume I come back the next day and I want to go back to the same page. This is a page I visit often, so I can easily click on wiki and that will open up the page. Sometimes this bar is not visible. To make it visible, we click on these three dots, bookmarks, and put a check mark on this show bookmarks bar, and that will make it visible, and then I will have all my shortcuts available. Another option that we have is to import bookmarks and settings, and that is if I'm using some other browser like perhaps an Internet Explorer or a Firefox or some other browser, and I've already done a lot of homework and saved a lot of bookmarks, and now I want all of those bookmarks to be available in Chrome. I can do that by importing bookmarks and settings, and that will run me through a wizard which will help me import all the bookmarks. One last thing we want to talk about is all these bookmarks are available on the computer that I'm currently using. Let's say I go home and I'm browsing the internet and I want to refer to one of the articles that I remember that I read in the school. How can I access bookmarks if I've saved the bookmark back in my school? In order for the bookmarks to be available on all the devices that you use, the device that you used in your school, in your home, perhaps your phone or your tab or wherever, what we need to do is we need to log into the browser. The browser has a login on the right hand side top. Right now it's not logged in. So let's log into this browser. I click on this and I will choose my login ID, and it will ask me to log in. I've already logged in. Seems like I've already logged in. So because I'm logged in already, I don't have to really save this bookmark in every one of my computer. Once I save it, it will be available across all my devices. So let's see what else needs to be done in order for my bookmarks to be available everywhere. I click on these three dots and click on settings, and I have this option called sync on, sync everything. Now that's how it synchronizes all my bookmarks. Let me show you the drop down. I click on this small arrow here and it gives me a drop down. I have said sync everything, synchronize everything, and as a part of that it will also synchronize my bookmarks here, which is how all the bookmarks will be synchronized across all my devices. If this is switched off, then you will not have the same bookmarks available on all your devices. So quickly, let's look at what we learned. We learned how to bookmark a web page using Ctrl D or this star icon here, and we also saw how we can access the Bookmarks Manager by clicking on these three dots and choosing Bookmarks Manager under the Bookmarks menu, and we can organize, delete, edit, etc. over here. We also saw how we need to sign into the browser in order for all these bookmarks to be available across all the devices.